our shirt on.
Here's the thing about the most famous welfare queen in American politics. The story you've heard is mostly a myth. In the late 70s and 1980, Ronald Reagan hit the campaign trail a woman in Chicago cruising in a Cadillac raking in $150,000 a year in tax-free welfare. It was punchy, it was memorable, and it was wildly misleading. Yes, there was a real person behind the line, Linda Taylor. She did commit welfare fraud. But Reagan's numbers? Off by a mile. Taylor was convicted of about $9,000 in fraud. Researchers estimate her total take over several years was closer to $40,000, not $150,000 a year. That's not a defense of her crimes. It's a reality check on a political talking point that was engineered to land a punch. There's more. Reagan framed Taylor as the face of welfare abuse, like this is what the system produced. In reality, Taylor was an extreme outlier. The typical cheating you saw in welfare cases was far more mundane. People underreporting income from a temporary, off-the-books job to keep food on the table. Not 80 aliases a luxury car. And then there's what Reagan left out. If you actually look at Taylor's life, the disturbing parts don't fit the lazy grifter story. She was investigated for kidnapping. She's a suspect in an unsolved murder. Those are serious allegations that complicate the narrative. But they never made it into the stump speech because the simpler version, welfare queen, did what it needed to do politically. Let's talk about the subtext. Reagan never said Linda Taylor was black. He didn't have to. A woman from Chicago, driving a Cadillac, collecting government checks. That's dog whistle politics, evoking race without naming it, triggering stereotypes in largely white audiences. The image stuck. A lazy, dishonest black woman gaming the system. And the consequences were real. The myth fueled racial resentment and recast debates about poverty as debates about morality. Public opinion shifted. Voters came to see the welfare queen as typical, not exceptional. That opened the door to major policy changes in the 80s and 90s. Lower benefits, strict work requirements, lifetime caps. Those choices didn't just punish fraud. They tightened the screws on millions of families who were following the rules. Even though Linda Taylor died in 2002, the stereotype she helped animate never really died. You still hear echoes of it today whenever welfare becomes shorthand for waste, or whenever poverty gets framed as a character flaw instead of a policy problem. So why revisit this? Because stories shape policy. If the story is wrong or weaponized, it can point the country in the wrong direction for decades. When I hear a claim that's too perfect, too convenient, I try to ask, what's missing? Who benefits from this version? And what happens if we get the facts right? The welfare queen wasn't just a person, it was a political tool. And once you see how it worked, you start spotting the pattern everywhere. That's the real lesson.